What's up, Internet? Welcome back to Botany Manor. In the last episode, we grew this mushroom that healthened up the tree, that livened it up a little bit, got rid of the parasite, and now we'll be able to go inside that door. That is our only path forward, so therefore, we do it right away. Here we go. I'm having a lot of fun with this one. This has been a nice game to go for. Whoa, okay. The Trapped Fairy. Dearest Arabella, I was taking a walk along a river in Somerset recently and noticed a sight I just had to write to you about. In the water, I saw the brook chalice blooming. I've never seen or heard of it flowering before. None of my books mention of it. It was so beautiful. Do you have any idea what would have caused this? Ever your friend, Edith. Attic is locked. Sit. The cradle fern. That looks like eggs in there. I know it's probably not, but it looks like it. Okay, this door is just going to be open. Okay, we have another potting station here. And another door we can open. Okay. Uh-huh. All right. What do we got? We got a big sofa. Dear Lady Arabella, Montague Hall, I wanted to thank you once again for your invaluable contributions during our recent meadow orchid research expedition. Your keen observations and deep knowledge of orchids was so helpful. Your dedication to the field is an inspiration to us all. I look forward to the future collaborations and the continued exploration of the botanical wonders that surround us. I will put in a good word for you with the Botanical Society. Oh, so he actually is a good one. Maybe, possibly. He saw her for her scientific contributions. Oh, a lot of stuff here. Okay. We got an attic key. Wonderful. Okay. Somerset River Trust. River swimming this season. Dear members, we want to make sure you can all enjoy swimming this summer, so we've cleared the most popular rivers in Somerset of all aquatic weeds. The River Cam, the River Chew, and the River Summer have all been cleared of weeds thanks to the services of Clark's Aquatic Weed Removal Co. Thank you for your continued support. Thanks to your monthly donations, the rivers of Somerset are clean and weed-free. This is April 1890. When is that letter from? August. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think that could still work, but curious about that. Health and safety warning. It is, 8th of August. It's been brought to our attention that the factory of Barton Ironworks has been illegally dumping scrap metal in rivers across Somerset. These rivers are now polluted with rust, making them unsafe for swimming. Do not swim in the following rivers: River Cam, River Summer, River Chew. The River Frome was also affected by the waste, though oddly the river is completely clear of rust pollution. We are still researching what led to that effect. Got it. Okay, so we just need to know which of the plants is actually responsible for that, and then I think I know we have a good idea of where that's going to come from. There we go. Rivers of Somerset: River Axe, Parrot, Yeo, Tone, Frome, Brew, Cam, Summer. Interesting. Number of bridges. Oh, bridges is going to be interesting because they're rusting, right? Average temperature. Wow, interesting. Okay. Dearest Arabella, I am writing to share with you an exciting discovery I've made in my botanical studies. It turns out that some plants are particularly sensitive to sound and seem to thrive when exposed to music or melodies from their natural environment. I hope to share more of my findings with you in the near future and would be delighted if you could join me in my research. Your sincere friend, Marianne. She has so many friends. She's a social butterfly, this one. It's funny, parts of this are actually reminding me of something like Gone Home, which is not a game I love. I think it's a game that was amazing for its time, but we've gotten so many better versions of that game since. I think if that game came out now, it wouldn't be as highly praised. Like most firsts of its kind, it kind of like was one of the first to do what it was trying to do with like the walking simulator thing. Okay, bird calls. Interpretations of bird calls. Shoveler duck, blue heron, shell duck, pintail. Okay, we got a lot of different duck calls. And bells. Okay, so then we'll put one there. Okay, great. So there is where we'll do a musical based one. Now we have one more room, maybe more. Master bedroom. Aquatic weed removal. Do you have a pond? Do you want to swim in it? Is it covered in slimy weeds? We're specialized in removing the following weeds: algae, Himalayan balsam, brook chalice, duckweed. Make an appointment today. So it was called a weed because it wouldn't flower. So something happened where it didn't allow itself to flower. Cradle fern. The past years, these ferns have drastically declined on the banks, so I feel compelled to research any changes in their environment. They fall. Cradle fern. Brook chalice. My friend wrote to me about the brook chalice, which made me want to research them. Yeah, these are interesting because they almost feel similar. Petition to be presented to the Honorable House of Commons. In recent years, hunts have been taking place near the Somerset rivers. Tragically, this has led to the decline and even extinction of some bird species. No longer can we hear their beautiful chime-like calls. We call upon the government to regulate hunting near the rivers of Somerset. We ask that they respect the breeding times of wildlife. If you agree, please sign below and return this letter to us. No expense attends signing. Your signature, Arabella Green. The Trapped Fairy. Once upon a time, there was a little fairy who loved gazing at her own reflection in the water. She lost track of the time, and the day turned into night. Nyx, goddess of the night, also J.R.R. Kelly. Nyx, goddess of the night, noticed the little fairy. The moon was shining bright, but the fairy only had eyes for herself. Nyx took offense and decided to punish the little fairy. Nyx placed the fairy into a nightfall and cast a spell on her. She fell in love with the moon and gazed upon the sky all night. As dawn approached and the sun arose, the spell broke. Though just as the fairy awoke from her enchantment, the flower bed closed and trapped the fairy for eternity. My dear Nova, never forgotten. Aw. Okay. Tincture of red clover. Chamomile and red clover seems to soothe hot flushes. Essence of arnica flower for sprains, strains, and joint pains. Can't open this. Okay, what else we got? Dearest friend, it seems our interest in visiting the private plant collection of Lord Spencer has gone unacknowledged. While disappointing, I'm not sure it's worth pursuing scientific study in such places. On my recent visit to Britsby, the young man showing us around had barely a basic knowledge of plants, and due to there being a large group of gentlemen in the party, all useful time and erudition was devoted to them and none given to Constance and I. Let us plan another trip of our own, and perhaps we could see these specimens in their home habitats where they belong. Ever your faithful friend, Eliza. Okay. Bathroom. Oh, we got pipes. Okay. Probably that. There. Yeah. More pipe pieces. Oh, one here. Looking for one more. In the tub? Oh, here we go. Who needs a plumber is the name of the achievement. That's funny. Oh, I see. We also have to fill the bath water for a reason. Okay, and there's a saucer in there. Of course there is. Okay, so the number 30 bath geyser at the hot bath at the turn of a tap provides a rapid flow of hot water. Simply turn on the tap and instantly hot water will appear. Can be used multiple times in a row without any extra cost. Okay, so yeah, this will help us get the river one. Wilson Plumbers. Installation of disconnected pipes. Total 14. Dear Arabella, here's our quote to repair the geyser in your bathroom. The cost might seem high, but trust us, it's a complex job. Best left to the professionals. Have a nice day, Frederick. I love the narrative that all the guys are incompetent. That is very funny. We flushed the toilet. There it is. Bang. Okay, so how many clues do we have right now? I have a decent amount. So let's... Oh. We got a filled bath. But I want to drain that. Okay, cool. So... Okay, this is going to be a lot harder because now there's a lot of... There's not a clear difference between a lot of these clues. Cradle fern, huh? Let's go with the fairy one first. If we can. Nightfall. So the fairy story is Nightfall. Fairy painting, and then fairy story. Cool. Okay, there's also 4 more. So hold on, how many more clues do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 4 there, 5 there. Oh no, I don't have all the clues. So that's also important. I might not have all the clues for one of them or all of them. So Nightfall is the fairy one. Hunts have been taken near the Somerset rivers. Clark aquatic reed removal. Brook Chalice is the weed removal one. Yeah. So if we go off of that, all aquatic reef, so River Trust would also be here. Okay. Cam Summer Chew. Cam Chew Summer, yeah. River From. Okay, so then that one, government notice in the bell tower. And if that's the case, then probably the river poster is here. The bird calls are then going to be on the cradle fern. And the letter about melodies. I don't know what that petition is for. Which one's the petition? This is for the birds. So the birds one is going to be the petition. How many other ones do I have? Bath geyser. That's going to be for the water one. And finally, what else do we got? Bird eggs. Bird eggs. Letter about weeds, probably here. Yep, excellent. Okay, that was a little bit of process elimination, but we got it. And then fern painting. Nice. Okay, so Nightfall is actually the one that we don't have fully. So we have all the clues to be able to solve everything else, which seems correct. Now it's just about, do we have all the seeds for it? Do I have seeds for it? Plant cradle fern. So I have cradle fern, not brook chalice. So that means I have the one for the birds. So let's do cradle fern. Let's water it. Okay, now I could take this up and just prep this for this one. Okay, now now there's a little bit more of stuff to do. So now I have to figure out which bird plays in their call for this thing. So, not this one. Where was the egg thing? Cradle fern here. Yep, it looks like that is a like teardrop shaped eggs. So I'm looking for my bird eggs in the study. Let's go back over here. Nope, not that one. So this is a crested owl. Okay. We like ourselves some owls here. Okay. Crested owl. Let's see if that works. So we're looking now to do the crested owl call. ECDEGF. All right. One more time. ECDEGF. Yeah. Yeah, so it was eggs in the center there. I was correct. Cradle fern. Beautiful. Oh, right, and I have an attic key. Whoops. The cradle fern is used by the crested owl as a nest, and in turn, the plant has grown dependent on the owl's chime-like call to grow. All right. Wonderful. Okay, now let's just figure out what the way to get to the attic is. Attic can be found from 8. Oh, right, it's just the door at the end of the hall. Okay, and that'll probably give us whatever we need for the remainder of this section. Aha, butterflies. The flower-growing companion, gardening curiosity, trapped moths. Sometimes if a moth can be trapped inside a flower bud if it closes in the morning. The moth is then forced to use the flower bud as a resting place until it opens again later. Some flowers only bloom for short periods during the year, so if the moth is unlucky, the flower bud won't open again until many months later. Okay, so this is going to be the sunset plus butterfly stuff. Moth spotting calendar for Southwest England. Oh, wow, look at this. That's cool. Lots of moths. Okay, great. What else do I have here? Huh. Wow, this looks identical to the Blue Prince attic. Oh. There's a lot going on up here. We got a pig. We got a rusty pig. Okay, cool. The sight of plants. Some scientists have theorized that plants have photoreceptors in their leaves and stems, which allows them to see the color of light. This means that flowers can tell the time of day and know when to open or close their buds. The exact time the flowers bloom is different for each flower, but most do appear to respond to light and color of light the same way. Horticulturists and botanists have made use of this knowledge to trick difficult flowers into blooming at any time they like. Okay. Okay, so obviously this is where the nightfall one is going to happen. My dear niece, March 1863, so a little bit earlier. I fear the window may be closing for you to find a suitable husband. I've arranged a dinner for you to meet my neighbor's son, Edward. He's successful in business in London. Your cousins, William and Thomas, may well aspire to become accomplished scientists, but for you, Arabella, it is better to make yourself useful in the small duties of life for which you will be loved and appreciated. Your studious nature will no doubt be valuable should you have a son, but it would be foolish to allow such a folly to come before the important things in life. I'm confident this is what your parents would have wanted. Dinner will be from 5 o'clock on Sunday. Remember to wear a becoming dress. Yours very sincerely, Aunt Agnes. See, now it's important to remember that some women do play a part in the misogyny and the patriarchy as well. You know, this is exactly the prime example. The unwillingness to break from tradition and the beholdenness of that is very toxic, is the word I'll use. Aha! There's our Brook Chalice seed, so we can now finally do this. That's great. Botanist Digest. This month, in conversation with Professor Montague, leading expert in British meadow orchids. In his word, every plant, every leaf, and every meadow holds secrets waiting to be unlocked. My aim is simply to uncover some of those mysteries. Professor John Montague, renowned botanist, shed light on his groundbreaking work in the world of meadow orchids and other botanical wonders. With decades of research and numerous publications to his name, Professor Montague's contributions to the field have been nothing short of revolutionary, including discoveries of new species such as the Dactylorhizia Montague or hood marsh orchid, So maybe I had a positive light about him, but of course that is not true because he clearly claimed discovery of the orchid that Arabella claimed to say was a new orchid. So that sucks. But, you know. Okay, project slides. Oh, I see. These are going to be all colors. Okay, great. So we're going to have to find the sunset color that works. We probably have all of the clues at this point now, too. Trapped moths, moth calendar, moths poster, and the site of plants. Great. Okay, so now it's just about going out and doing him. So I think I'm closest on the Brook Chalice, though. So let's get back down to do that, and then we'll have to go and reevaluate the. We'll have to go and reevaluate the moths and the sunset stuff. Okay, so Brook Chalice. Let's water it. We have liftoff. Okay, so with this one, though... So, weed removal, master bedroom, bell tower, bathroom corridor. So, we know how that's going to work. So, that's done. There's 2 documents here that are helpful for us. It's... not that one. This one, which just means it's about... This is a connection clue. What's the other one? Bedroom, weed removal, river trust. I don't know why that's necessary. Petition. Am I crazy? Where is that where's that evidence? River trust in the master... This is master bedroom, right? Yeah. Am I nuts? It's a letter. Okay, well... Oh, it's not. It's here. Okay, that's a mistake, but that's okay. River Camchu and Summer have all been cleared of weeds thanks to the services of Clark's Aquatic Weed Removal Company. Thank you for your continued support. So they're clean and weed-free. The River Frome was affected by the waste, though oddly the river is completely clear of rust pollution. So in that case, let's investigate what are the... So it has 4 bridges, 27 miles. Average temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. And then what did our friend say? Did she say specifically which river she was going? Oh, well, along a river. And then let's go back up here and let's grab that pig too. Because that's going to have to be in the water with it. So I think it's 25 degrees Celsius with rust. So let's set this correctly. Okay. And now turn it on. It needed rusty water. That's why it doesn't ever show anywhere. Poor flower. It needs the worst of conditions. Oh, that's awesome. I like that the flower becomes almost like a permanent installation in the house once we bloom it. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. That's another one down. Beautiful. Ranunculus condatus. The brook chalice prefers to grow in rivers with a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. The plant naturally filters the water from rust and metal. Unfortunately, they get removed often, as most people prefer their ponds to be weed-free. Okay, last one, nightfall. And now we also have to figure out what is the... Let's go to the library first. Let's first take on that challenge. Library. Okay, so we have lots of paintings. That's dead. How about this guy? Nightfall. I've decided the flower opens at sunset and only during a particular time of year. When that exactly occurs remains a mystery to me. I shall plant a few more seedlings tomorrow and continue my research. Okay. So we know that it's specific. We got that. What else? What other things can I use to determine? So sunset paintings, the research itself. Fairy painting. Oh, I wonder if the fairy painting shows what type of moth it could possibly be. Like, is it styled the same way? Where's that painting? Here it is. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So, kind of like a white and brown with some red underneath. Where is that moth painting? That is up here. Oh, here. Yeah. So that's the garden tiger moth. If that's the garden tiger moth, where do you show up? Garden tiger. Hello? There it is. September. Okay, so September. Does where it shows up, is that important? Or is it just how this is formatted? Garden tiger. I'm going to just say it's green also. That's important. Okay, so let's go back to the library. We're looking at a September moth. October, April, July, May. September. Blue, yellow, orange, red. Okay. Is that going to be it? Blue, yellow, orange, red. All right, let's pot a plant at least, and then we'll see if this works. So, pot, soil, nightfall. Very nice. Okay. Okay. And now we have blue, yellow, orange, red. Project. Of course it is. Excellent. Yay! Look at that. Beautiful. Nightfall complete. Success. Seeing the nightfall bloom is a rare event. The flower only blooms with September sunsets. Night pollinators active in September, such as the garden tiger, often get trapped once the bud closes for the rest of the year. They won't survive. Sad. Haha, we have another gatehouse delivery. Let's head down. Run, 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 run. Where else do we have? I think it's just the other side of the garden, right? We've seen most of the house at this point. Is it this door here? Or is this the one that's trapped on the other side? I don't know. What do we got? We got a key. Formal garden. Okay. Lady Arabella, I apologize wholeheartedly for accidentally taking the key to the formal garden home with me. It was in my pocket and I had simply forgotten it was there. I didn't want to disturb your research, so I've left the key in the basket here for you. Jimmy. Okay. Thank you, Jimmy. All right, so formal garden. I think this should open here. Lock from the other side. But that is the direction in which we have to come at the formal garden. Not this way. So let's go inside and figure out which way we have to hit. Is it from here? No. How about out here? Oh yeah, I think so. I think the only thing we haven't used is that mural in one of the other back gardens. Climbing up. 3 new plants added. Okay. We got a duck. Oh, pretty. We got a picnic situation. Nothing it seems I can pick up except for this. Illustrated penny paper. It was a message. Local man reports mystery signal. A gentleman, farmer, has reported sightings of a mysterious blinking lights coming from caves near his home in Cheddar. In his own words, I was walking my dog and lost track of time a little. It soon became dark and I decided to make the walk back home. On the way back to my house is a tiny cave, and as I walked by, I noticed a blinking light pattern cast from the cave entrance. I was sure it was one of those Morse code messages. When I approached the cave, the light source vanished and nobody was there. I'm convinced that what I saw was the Morse code abbreviation for attention. Good to know. I will never forget that one abbreviation, as it was the first message I learned in Morse code. Local authorities have assured our journalists that there have been no recent military activity or exercises in the area, so the mystery remains unsolved. Interesting. Okay. I think actually I'm going to call it probably here, just so that way I can have a lot more to look at for the next episode. And it's also buckling for a second, so maybe I try to fix whatever's happening, slowing the game down a little bit. Well, we have a lot more to go, though. So thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you want to see future episodes or any other episodes of any other games we're playing on the channel now or in the future. And you can check the playlists on the channel if you want to see any other games we've played in the past. A lot of really good stuff. But we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.